Okay, so let's try this again. It's obviously later. Well, I don't know. For my earlier video, I had to cut it short, and I wanted to come back because I want to post the earlier video, but I also wanted to post this one too, and so I didn't want to just have like a short one out there just kind of hanging. Some hours later, and I'm chilling. I'm at work. I just ate and watched some videos. Just a little entertainment. I am definitely getting tired, and I maybe have I don't know, like a half hour to 45 minutes. I don't know. I'll say like an hour worth of work left to do. But I don't get off for a couple more hours, a little more than 2 hours. So I have plenty of time to finish everything that I have to do. It's just a matter of finding the energy to do it because it's getting late and, it's at the end of your shift, or even when it gets later at night, it's just like a little harder. So, and you probably can hear it in my voice too. Just from it being later, I just ate. It's cold outside, just different things. So, yeah. So there's that. But yeah, so earlier I was just talking about like how I did my budget, and I'm sorry, I keep yawning. So I did my budget. I I don't know. I definitely wish that I made more money, and but I make enough right now where like my bills are paid. I just don't have like any extra. And so I'm trying to decide if I want to stay at my current job or look for something else. My current job will give me the ability to take classes while I work because of my schedule. So that's why I really like my current job, because I can take some classes that will, in less than a year's time, I can move up within the company, be making more money. So it's like, I could do that. Or I could just look for something different altogether. And that's where I'm at right now. But I've decided that I'm not going to make any decision until January comes. I think a lot of the pressure, or I know a lot of the pressure to get more money, make more money is because of the holidays. I've felt the pressure before the holidays, but when the holidays come up, I miss the days where I didn't have to think about money, where I could get people things like whatever they wanted, get myself something, and that's just not the case. And so I'm basically just telling myself to wait, because I'm finally at a point where I don't feel so isolated. For a while, I felt like I was getting like left behind, and you know, my job choices are slim, and like what am I gonna do, and like because of like just specific things that happened to me without realizing that. I mean, just generally, a lot of people are going through the same thing. You know, a lot of people um, lost their jobs years ago, some years ago, and um, getting back into the job market and just getting back to where, you know, a lot of us were before. It hasn't been easy. And for a while, I just really felt isolated, like I was the only one going through it in comparison to like my inner circle who were like still doing great. Um, but just kind of like opening my mind more, just realizing like there's a lot, you know, it's kind of going on everywhere. And um, I want to make sure that I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses, that I'm making the best decisions for me for longevity, which is why I'm thinking about going back to school because I asked myself, I was like, you know, let's say that, you know, everyone's always threatening about like retirement ages and social security and things like that. And, you know, let's say that by the time I am ready to retire, which is in a long, long time, but still, like, let's say that um, there is no retirement for me, you know, there's no social security. Oh my goodness. I, um, I basically just asked myself, like, what is a job that you're willing to do if you had to work until you were, you know, 65, 70, you know, like if you had to work until you were 70, what's the job that you would be comfortable doing, that you would enjoy doing? And I believe I found that. I believe I found it. Um, so I think we'll see. You know, it's the thing is that it's kind of hard to plan that far ahead, and I try my best not to plan too far ahead because I can get carried away. So right now, we're just gonna go ahead and finish up December, have the budgets made. Um, I like to keep two two pay periods on hand as far as like my budgets. So I have like my next two pays for December already budgeted out. And you know, every time I get paid, I just kind of look at it, I review each one, see if anything needs to be changed, update it, and then I make the next one. If you're not making a budget, I highly suggest you do. And the reason is you want to know where all your money's going. You need to set a place for where all your money's going. And it helps with, you know, just one day you go in your bank account and you're like, oh, you know, like, where's my money? What happened? Or I thought I had this. You don't even have to think you know. And I find that budgeting, despite what my income is, um, that, you know, whether it was as low as, you know, sometimes I was making like $11 an hour, um, budgeting makes it where it's easier to it's easier to not like have to wait. Give me 1 second. Yeah. All right, I'm back. Someone just let me know that they were heading out for lunch. But yeah, so it just makes it easier where you just know where all your money is, you know where it's going, and you're not just swiping, you know, thinking that you have a certain amount of money in your account, um, forgetting about maybe a direct debit that you set up that you want to have set up. So yeah, I highly suggest if you're not budgeting, you definitely should be, and I mean down to the last penny. Um, if you do a salary wage, it's easier because you know what you're gonna get paid every time. If you don't, what I always do is I usually just estimate like my paycheck because of taxes and stuff from working overtime or different hours. Um, I usually estimate my paycheck lower by like $50, and but my paycheck's usually the same. But I budget every single penny out from food, entertainment, fast food, um, you know, whatever I can or might spend money on. And then if I get to a point where like I've written out all my bills and everything I want or need, and there's still money left over based on how much I get paid, I just put the word save and I just throw that money there. And what I like to do personally is I pull my money from the bank just because I can, but right now as I'm building things back up, I don't want to risk it. I don't want to tempt myself. Um, so I just pull it out. So like if it's money that says save, I pull it out the bank and I'll keep cash so I don't swipe it away. And when I say swipe, I mean like with my card, you know. Um, your bill money, it's allocated for your bills or what have you. But yeah, so I did that today, and I think I'm feeling pretty good because of that. Um, just a quick like appreciation shout out for where I am right now because uh, a couple days ago I wasn't in the best place. I was upset about my job and the money I'm making and just different things going on. Um, so when I get to a point where I'm having a good day, I always want to make sure I acknowledge that too. So yeah, today's been good. Like I said, I'm a little tired, but hey, it is what it is. Um, got a full tank of gas, Um, I ate, had food, have a job, and like these are things that sound very basic, but there's been times where I haven't had food, um, haven't had enough food, where my blood sugar is like dropping, or times where I haven't had a job. Like I said, I have a full tank of gas. There's times where I didn't have a vehicle. Actually, last year around this time, I was walking to work. I was walking to the job that I had, and it was about 3 blocks away from my house. I had plenty of warm clothing because it does get cold where I am. It snows regularly where I am in the winter. Um, but yeah, so like a year ago, I was walking and making less money. So um, even though when I'm having a tough time, it doesn't always help for me to be like, oh, remember how things were. But when I do have that moment to calm down and have some quiet time, I do like to take that moment to appreciate it. Um, my feelings are really strong whichever way they go. So if I'm having a bad day, I'm having a bad day, If I'm upset or wanting more out of life, that's how I feel. There's no comparison that's going to make me feel better. There's no, oh, there's homeless people. Like none of that would change the way that I feel. Um, so like I said, just, it's a good day, and if if only for this moment, which it won't be, but um, things are nice. So what I'm going to do is hop off of here. I'm gonna upload the first video, which you probably have already seen if you're watching this one. I don't know. The first video is like very short, but I'm gonna go ahead and upload that one, and then I will upload this one. And depending on how the rest of my night goes, I might do one more. I'll see if I can maybe squeeze another one in. I like for the videos to at least be like 15 or more minutes. I want them to be longer because I want them to kind of like last while you may be doing something, or, until I get enough up where you can just kind of go through and play them. So I have to, make sure that I have the time to do it. But yeah, so right now I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here and get these videos up for you. And yeah, if you made it this far, leave me an emoji in the comments. If you see my random shapes up here, I didn't really arrange them this time because I've just been kind of like sitting and talking. But yeah, I will catch you later. And thanks for stopping by.